Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Today is the 30th day of our 40-day challenge. Can you believe it? 6:30 to 7 every morning. Although today we're a little bit late. We had a little delay, but all good. It's raining, so that's why we're in the studio instead of the beach today. This is our 30th day of our Hamptons Sunrise Beach Yoga series, and I'm glad that you're here and taking care of your body for 30 minutes every morning, just taking care of her or him. And let's go straight into the strange leg in front. Come to a seated position. And just take a moment to sort of let the mind settle down. Breathing deeply through the nostrils. Slight smile on the lips, lifting the cheekbones, lifting the eyes, lifting the back of the neck, you know. As I said, that occipital bone, push that up towards the ceiling. That's going to make a nice open pipe for your breath to go straight up from your nose right into your lungs. And if you can, just take your hands like this and sort of scratch on the sides of your rib cage and create an awareness here. This is what we want to try to do, is like open the sides of the rib cage when we breathe. See if you can do that. Really inhale deeply, letting the rib cage totally expand. Now, a lot of yoga practices talk about belly breathing. That is not wrong. That's another way of breathing. But when you're using Uddiyana Bandha, it's impossible to breathe down there, so you have to have an alternative. So these two things sort of work together, but they don't really explain it to you usually how to do either one. So what you need to do is just sort of create awareness here. And some people, you can put your fist right here and then see if you can push your fist out. And pay attention. Make sure you're not breathing up like this. That's kind of the worst thing you want to do. It causes a lot of tension in the neck. What we want to do is keep the shoulders really level. See, they're not moving up and down like this. Don't breathe like that. That's no good. Breathe sideways. You'll be amazed at how much air is in there. Perfect. So we got our breathing mechanism warmed up. We're lengthening the back of the spine. Let's take our fingertips, put it on the hip bone, the thumb on the bottom of the rib cage, and stretch. L1 through 5. You're going to feel a slight rotation in the hips when you do this. You're going to see, do you see this little, just a little bit when you lengthen that spine. Make sure you're not letting your ribs come out. That's a no-no. We want those ribs down because we don't see how the opposite. Now I'm pushing too hard in the back. I want the back to be straight back here. So that's why I'm going to keep those ribs down, but the up feeling is inside the spine, right inside of the spine. That's what we're feeling. Lifting up. Let's go ahead and do a little twist to the right with that length. Make sure your jaws are nice and relaxed, your eyes are relaxed. Just feeling that twist. Woo, how far can you go? Yes. And coming back towards the center, let's do the other side, left side. Oh yeah, pushing that right hip back as you twist over your left shoulder. Ah, twisting is so good for you. Let's take the hands. We're going to make a thumb go up into the air, and then our fingers are folded in, and then you're just going to rotate your whole arm, not just your lower arm like this, but your whole arm is going to rotate in that arm socket. That's what we're doing. We're rotating here. We're not doing like this. We're going like this, keeping that very quiet. That's where your shoulder should be. And then you're going to not pinch. Don't let yourself pinch like this. We're going to keep the back nice and flat and push that thumb back as far as you can go, making sure you're relaxing your. Don't have a hard chest either. Make sure your chest is nice and soft. That's the whole point, is a very soft sternum. And then we're just opening up this little teeny muscle called the pec minor. And that rascal is responsible for rounding your shoulder forward. That's what he's doing. He's actually sort of lifting your scapula so that you can breathe into the upper lobe of your lung when you're out of breath. So this guy is like, he lifts that so that you have a little more air in there, but we don't need. That's a panic situation, and we don't want to put our body in a panic stance. We want to have a confident, relaxed stance. So pushing that thumb back, feeling that opening up. You may feel your arm spiraling, and that's what I'd like you to start to feel in your body, is the spirals. And that's what it is. It's starting at your shoulder and it's going all the way around to your thumb. You feel that spiral? It's kind of cool, isn't it? Now you're going to keep the top of the spiral where it is. Keep that shoulder where it is. And then just turn the hand. In other words, don't let this happen. Don't let your shoulder roll in. Keep your shoulder anchored in your back and then turn the palm to face the ground. Does it feel a little strange? This is where your shoulder should be, okay? So now you know how to find it. Then see if you can sort of keeping the shoulder there, put your hand on your knee, and then come into Namaskara Mudra, which is our prayer position, closing the eyes, lengthening the back of the neck, breathing deeply through the nostrils, inhaling the sides of the rib cage. Now let's take a moment to invite some silence into our lives. Rubbing the hands together, heating up the palms. Bring the warm palms over the closed eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Exhale deeply through the nostrils. Now open the eyes behind the palms, and you're going to circle the eyes to the right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Sitting up very tall, lifting that occipital bone, lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale deeply. Open the eyes again behind the palms. This time we're going to circle the eyes to the left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Exhale deeply through the nostrils, sitting up very tall, lifting that occipital bone. Inhale one more time, and gently lower the hands and open the eyes. And welcome, congratulations, the hard work is over. You made it here. That's the big thing, is to just show up, right? Now it's time for bliss. 30 minutes of taking care of this beautiful vessel that we've been given. It's amazing that we're even here, the odds, isn't it? I mean, when you think about it. Let's go ahead, we're gonna start in our easy V today, and just let your hips sort of warm up in that socket. I think it's very important to do this every day, is to really let your hips just kind of come on to one side, really feel how that feels. Now don't hurt your knee if you wanna do this. You can keep your foot flexed. You see how this keeps the knee and the foot all in alignment? Instead of letting that knee go in like that, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, let's come to the other side. And let that come in there. Oh, that feels so good. Yes, opening up the hips, opening up the hips. Feeling everything moving around. Back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Then we're going to walk forward over the legs and just drape yourself over the floor and just let everything go. We're starting off with a passive stretch this morning. Now, a little subtlety is I kind of flex my feet and then I dig my heels into the floor here, and it's giving me an extra little stretch. Little stuff like that can feel really good. Saying yes, no with the head. That's important because that's going to relax the rest of your back. If your neck is stiff, the rest of your back is still on high alert. It's not going to relax. And slowly push yourself all the way up. Let's go over the right side. So I'm changing the angle of my body so my shoulders are facing my foot. So I'm not going over sideways. I'm going to go over facing the foot, and I'm going to press that left hip back as I come forward, over the leg. See if you can just dangle there. You might be like, oh, my nose is on my knee, but is your hip down? Check that out. Make sure that hip is down. That's going to be another level. You can do this if you want to. Of course, you're an adult. Do what you want to do. I told my sister that I told a group class of like 20 people I had out here, okay, you're an adult, you're going to take this class. If you don't feel like doing something, don't do it. And you know, I really believe in that. As you get older, you know your body, and if there's something you don't want to do, just don't do it. She thought that was the greatest thing to say. And I really feel that way too. You know your body better. And if you feel like, no, this is hurting my knee, I don't want to do this. Trust your body. It's trying to tell you stuff. That's like when people hurt their wrist. We're over the other side now. Make sure that that right hip is pushing back. Some people, they push too hard and they hurt their wrists in yoga. And the wrist was trying to tell them, look, this is too much for me. So when your wrist is hurting, please respect it and back off. Back off, let it go for the day, and then maybe come up to that point again the next day, and then each day push through a little more until you fix that wrist or strengthen it. Don't over push your body, especially as you get older, because it's just not as resilient, you know? We just don't heal as fast. Okay, let's flex the feet. We're gonna crunch the toes, flex the feet, crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes. Point the feet, flex the toes. Point the toes. This time the toes are lengthening. Okay, crunch. Let's see the difference. Okay, crunch your toes, lengthen your toes, flex your toes. Lengthen your toes, crunch your toes, lengthen your toes, flex your toes. Flex your foot, and now keep the toes flexed, but push the ball through like a Barbie foot. Flex back again. We're going to keep the toes flexed as we do this one. Flex the toes the whole time. That's it. Okay, now circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's so good to do stuff like that for your feet. Let's come on to all fours, and let's do a little bit of a balancing thing. I think I'm gonna face you to make it a little bit easier to understand. Okay, so again, make sure you activate your hands because that's going to protect your wrist. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right foot back. I don't know if that's your left foot. Right foot back. And then you're going to take your left arm forward. Looking straight down, you got a straight line. Now, see if you can pull a little more with your fingertips, then pull a little more with your heel. Do you feel that opposition? We were talking about that one of the days this week. So feel that opposition of the heel pulling away and the fingers reaching. That's going to give you stability. Then see if you can bring the elbow and knee together as you really flex your back as much as you can, trying to even touch your nose to your knee. Then stretching all the way out again. Feeling that balance, we're going to do it again. Nose to knee to elbow, everybody coming together, making a very deep flexion, stretching both out. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Let's do the other side. I'm going to come this way so you can see. All right? So you're going to let the left leg come back this time. So it's parallel. Do you see how my toes are facing the ground? So my toes aren't out like this. Make sure your toes are facing the ground. That makes sure that your hips are level. See, if you do this, then you tend to open up your hips. But if you do this, you're going to keep your hips level. That's what we're trying to do. All right? And then reach the right arm out. Make sure the fingers of the left arm are very active. And then you're going to make the elbow and the knee and the nose all touch. Lengthening back out. That's it. Slow and steady as she does it. Elbow and knee and nose all together. And stretching back out. Hand down, knee down. And let's go back into child's pose just to give a nice stretch. I'm going to put my arms down like this just to give a nice relaxation. Couple of breaths here. All right, let's come all the way up onto all fours. Curl the toes under. Push your legs back into your down dog. Maybe do a little walking the dog. That's what I like to do. I'm going to face you so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Walking the dog like this, and then stretch your hips up into the air. Not stretching back, you're stretching up towards the sky, and then your back and your ears and your head, they're all in alignment. So you don't want to be like this, like overstretched. That's no good. You see how my back is too arched? I have too much stretch. I want to be very strong and straight. You see that? See how the spinal column, all the way up to the head, to the hands. I hope it looks like that. I can't see myself. All right, let's walk our hands back to the feet, dangling over the legs. Whew. Let your head go. Say yes, no. Yes, no. Gonna be like a bobblehead in the car, you know, the little things on the springs. And that's gonna relax the rest of your back. And while you're down here, let's take a look at where the weight is on your toes. Is it on your heels? Look what happens when you come forward over your toes. Your heels come up. Then when you go back on your heels, your toes start to lift, right? See if you can find that point right in between where you're over the arch of your foot. So you're not on the ball of your toe or the ball or the heel there. You're right over the arch of your foot. If you have hyperextended knees, you might need to bend your knees slightly. It's going to feel like you're an old cowpoke from cowboy days. But you got to bend your knees slightly. It's like a micro bend. Do not push back into the knee. You're going to keep weakening your legs and bones, and then you're also going to build up big thighs. That's what happens when you have the hyperextended legs. You're gripping with your thighs. I can always tell if somebody has hyperextended knees because they usually have kind of larger thighs. Okay, let's look how it's lightening up a little bit. It was pretty gloomy here earlier. Let me angle up a wee tad there. All right, let's do our sun salutation. Now that we've warmed up our back, wasn't that great? We got all that flexion and extension going on there when we did this, right? That's so great. All right, let's face the top of our mat. Our feet are going to be parallel to the long side of the mat. And feel the weight on the triangle at the bottom of your foot, the big toe mountain, baby toe ball, and the heel. That's a triangle. Lift your toes to feel the foot pushing down into those 3 points equally. See if you're pushing too much on the inside, on the outside. Most people are pushing too much on the inside. Some people are on the outside, but most are inside. Make sure those 2 points are pretty even between the baby toe and the big toe. Lower the toes. Inhale deeply. Arch up, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, falling forward over the legs. Dangle the head on the exhale. Get ready to inhale, hands on the shins, arching up. Exhale as you put your hands on the mat. Step back into chaturanga, lower all the way down. Put your knees down if you need to. Tighten the tummy as you come up into cobra on the inhale. Curl the toes under, push back into down dog for 2 breaths. 1. 2. Walking forward towards the hands on the exhale, all the way up into the arch up, hands on the shins. Exhale forward. Inhale all the way up to the sky. Arch back if you want to. And come back into Namaskara Mudra. Let's do that one more time. And this time, I'm not going to say anything. I would like you to listen to the music of your breath. Your breath is going to tell you what to do, all right? So you're going to inhale, exhale first, then make the movement. And just go at your own pace. You can look at me if you forget what you're supposed to do. Sometimes I do in yoga class. I'm just following the teacher, not thinking. And here we go. It's nice to do stuff in silence and just feel your own breath and your own movement, isn't it? Let's come back down to the ground for the pranayama. See if you can go straight to that strange leg when you sit down. All right, don't take the regular leg and then adjust. Let's see if you can go straight to the strange leg. That's when you'll know, oh my goodness, I have rebalanced myself. All right. Let's come into a seated position. Yesterday, I have to remind myself, left in front. Yesterday we were doing alternate nostril breathing. Let's do that again. And I don't know if you remember the reason why we do it. And that's because we're coming in one side, out the other, in the other side, out. We're going in and out. And what that's doing is that is freshening and cleaning this whole system that we have of right and left. It's called Ida and Pingala. And they are originating at your spine, base of your spine. And they go in a spiral pattern opposite each other. And in the middle, they create something called the Shushumna, which is this long force within you. You know, these are the things that I read about. I don't claim to be an expert on it, but that's what they say it's doing. And, you know, we do say that we have a right and a left brain, and apparently this balances those two. So maybe we'll find a Western, you know, oh, it's really this, you know, to kind of put over it. But the ancients, they knew a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to go with those rascals because I think they're pretty smart. So go on ahead and take your two first fingers. This is the traditional way of doing it. And then that's going to come into the middle of your palm. And then you're going to take your nose and put it on your left nostril. And your ring finger is going to be on your right nostril. So let's open the right nostril, inhaling deeply through the right nostril. Think about, you know, really expanding the rib cage and keeping a little smile on your face. Long length in the back of the neck. That's it. We're sitting up straight. We're in our power, closing the nostrils. Now let's open the left nostril. To exhale. And we're going to inhale, open the rib cage. A lot of room in there, isn't there? Closing both. Opening the right. Inhaling through the right. Closing both. Now, if you need to go at a different speed, go on ahead. Exhaling through the left. I want you to feel your breath, my friend. I'm here for you. I am your guide. Closing both. Exhaling through the right. And let's bring the hand down to rest. Now, some people, they rest their two fingers on their forehead. You can do that too if your hand gets tired, or you can switch hands. You don't have to keep just one hand the whole time if you feel like your arm's getting tired. How does that feel to breathe deeply like that? I think it's one of yoga's gifts to the world. This is a little, it's nature's Valium. I don't know, maybe I'm not allowed to say the names of drugs. I have to watch out. I don't know what the rules are. But it is nature's way of calming you down by doing deep breathing. Let's do it this time again, and I invite you to really enjoy the pause in between the breaths. When you close both nostrils, please don't think of it as holding your breath, but as rather as you've completed the breath, you're in sort of a suspension before you feel that urge to exhale. And then even at the bottom, the urge happens faster. I don't know why, but it seems like I'm out of air, and so my body's panicking to pull it back in. But there's a pause at the bottom too when you exhale. See if you can enjoy that little pause. So let's do it again. I'm going to fold my fingers in here. Let's going to inhale deeply through the right nostril. Now, not holding the breath, but just sort of observing the suspension. And wait until you feel the urge to exhale. You may feel it sooner or later than I do. We're all different. So now inhale through the left, opening the ribs, really having a nice big breath. Close both nostrils, but don't hold your breath. You're just watching this suspension happen, this turnaround. before you feel the urge to exhale. So another one after the exhale. And you feel the urge to inhale. Closing the nostrils, feeling that suspension. Exhale when you feel it. Suspension on the exhale. Inhaling again. Closing the nostrils. Feeling the suspension. Exhaling through the right when you're ready. And bring your hands into Namaskar Mudra. Breathing normally. I invite you to acknowledge yourself because you've just created an undeniable demonstration of your love for your health and your body. And when you take care of yourself, you can help other people. Rubbing the hands together, heating up the palms. Bring the warm palms over the closed eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Sitting up very tall, giving yourself a hypnotic suggestion. I will sit and stand like this the rest of the day with my shoulders down and my spine long. The back of my neck will be stretching. This will be normal for me. Driving in the car, I will remember. Let's plant that in. And exhale as you lower your hands. Namaste. Thank you so much for being with me today. It's been an honor to spend 30 minutes of your eternal now with me. I'm very grateful for that. And tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, on Monday, this was our 30th episode. So Monday will be our 31st episode. And it will be hopefully from the beach again as we march up. I think it's going to be Kirk Park, very close to Montauk. We're getting closer there. So I'll see you there at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a happy, healthy day. Namaste.